It's a scam that's leaving shoppers broke in minutes. Thieves are using a sneaky $20 trick to swipe your debit card and wipe out your bank account.
Last year alone, debit card fraud erased billions in personal savings worldwide. And the most disturbing part, most victims believed right up until the end that they were safe. This isn't about being careless. This is about systems designed to exploit trust, routine, and human psychology. What you're about to hear are 10 debit card scams silently destroying people's finances. Each one is more sophisticated than the last. And the last one is the most dangerous because victims almost never see it coming. If at any point you think, that wouldn't happen to me, keep listening. The 10th scam is one of the most common ways people lose their money in public, often without realizing it until hours later. It begins with something small: a declined card at a store, an awkward pause at the checkout counter, a line forming behind you. The cashier swipes again. Still declined. You feel the pressure immediately, eyes on your back, the unspoken expectation to fix the problem quickly. That's when someone nearby speaks up. They sound friendly, helpful, casual. They suggest trying again. They joke about faulty chips. They make the moment feel normal. While your attention is split between embarrassment and urgency, your debit card leaves your sight for just a moment. That moment is enough. Your real card is quietly swapped with another one that looks almost identical. Same color, same logo, same shape. You don't notice. Why would you? By the time you realize something is wrong, the person who took your card is already at an ATM, withdrawing cash as fast as the system allows. Victims often replay this moment over and over in their head. They remember the store. They remember the line. They remember the feeling of being rushed. And almost all of them blame themselves. But this scam works because embarrassment narrows awareness. Social pressure shortens attention, and the human brain prioritizes resolving discomfort over detecting risk. The 9th scam feels quieter, more technical, and far more calculated. You walk up to an ATM you've used before. It's in a well-lit area, maybe inside a bank lobby or a busy shopping center. You insert your card. You enter your PIN. The transaction goes through. Nothing feels wrong. What you don't see is that the machine has been modified with a near-perfect replica placed over the real card slot. Modern skimmers aren't crude plastic add-ons anymore. They're precision molded to match the exact dimensions, color, and texture of legitimate machines. Your card data is copied instantly. Your PIN is recorded silently. By the time you walk away, your debit card exists in 2 places, and the copy doesn't wait. Within hours, withdrawals begin, sometimes nearby, sometimes in another city, sometimes in another country. Victims almost always assume they used a shady ATM. They think they should have known better, but the truth is far more unsettling. Many skimmers are installed in places people trust the most: banks, airports, malls. Familiar environments lower suspicion, and criminals know that. The 8th scam doesn't involve calls, messages, or machines that look altered. It happens weeks after you've done nothing wrong. You use your debit card at a normal business, a grocery store, a pharmacy, a restaurant you've visited many times before. Everything works fine. Then weeks later, you notice unfamiliar charges. You search your memory. You didn't click anything strange. You didn't talk to anyone suspicious. That's because the breach didn't happen to you. It happened to the merchant. Large batches of debit card data are stolen through compromised payment systems and sold in underground markets. Thousands of cards at once. And debit cards are the most valuable. Unlike credit cards, debit cards move real money immediately. No buffer, no delay. By the time fraud is detected, the funds are often already gone. Victims feel helpless because there's no moment to point to, no mistake they can correct, no warning they can remember. And that uncertainty is exactly what makes this scam so effective. Because when people can't explain what went wrong, they hesitate to talk about it. And silence is where these scams grow. The next scams escalate from here. They become more personal, more psychological, and far harder to recognize in real time. The 7th scam feels personal because it comes directly to you. Your phone vibrates. It's a text message that looks routine, not dramatic, not sloppy. It says your debit card has been temporarily restricted due to unusual activity. To restore access, you need to verify your information immediately. There's a link. The message doesn't feel threatening. It feels administrative, like something that needs to be handled quickly so life can continue as normal. You tap the link. The website looks exactly like your bank. Same colors, same logo, same layout you've seen dozens of times before. You enter your card details, your PIN, the one-time code sent to your phone. Nothing happens. No confirmation, no error. That's because the scam isn't about the website. While you're still on the page, someone else is logging into your real account in real time. They don't rush. First, they change your contact information, your phone number, your email address. Now alerts go to them, not you. Then they increase limits. Then they start moving money. By the time you realize something is wrong, you're locked out of your own account. Victims often say the same thing afterward. The site looked real, and that's because it was designed to. This scam works by weaponizing urgency. Fear shortens decision-making. Speed replaces verification. The sixth scam sounds reassuring, even comforting at first. Your phone rings. The caller says they're from your bank's fraud department. They don't start with accusations. They start with good news. A suspicious transaction was detected on your debit card. It was blocked before any money was lost. Relief comes first, and relief lowers defenses more effectively than fear ever could. They confirm your name, your bank, sometimes even the last digits of your card. Everything sounds legitimate. Then they explain the next step. To reverse the flagged transaction, they need to verify your identity. A one-time code is sent to your phone. They ask you to read it aloud. That code isn't verification, it's authorization. In that moment, your debit card is linked to a new device, a new digital wallet, a new identity controlled by someone else. The call ends politely. Nothing feels wrong. Minutes later, withdrawals begin. Victims often notice only after opening their banking app and seeing a balance that doesn't make sense. What makes this scam so effective is that it never feels hostile, it feels helpful, and people are far more likely to cooperate with someone they believe is protecting them. The fifth scam works because you think you're in control. You notice a problem with your debit card, a declined transaction, a locked account, a charge you don't recognize. You decide to fix it immediately. So you search online for your bank's customer support number. The first result looks perfect. Correct name, correct logo, professional formatting. It even says sponsored, though most people don't notice. You call. The person who answers sounds exactly like customer support should. Calm, patient, polite. They don't rush you. They guide you step by step. They ask you to confirm details, then to verify your card, then to share a one-time code to secure the account. And because you made the call, your brain tells you this is safe. That's the illusion. These fake support centers are designed to feel real. By the time the call ends, the scammers don't need your card anymore. They already have your account. Victims often say, "But I called them." And that's exactly why it works. Initiating contact creates a false sense of security. Up to this point, every scam has relied on interaction, a message, a call, a decision you can remember making. What comes next is quieter, more patient, and far harder to connect in hindsight. The fourth scam doesn't feel like a scam at all. There's no call, no message, no interaction that feels suspicious. Someone simply watches you. You're at an ATM entering your PIN, or at a checkout terminal, or using a self-service machine in public. They stand close enough to see the keypad, far enough away to seem harmless. They don't rush you. They don't distract you. They just observe. Nothing happens that day, or the next. Then, days later, your wallet goes missing, or your bag is stolen, or your card disappears in a crowded place. You cancel the card quickly. You feel relieved, until withdrawals appear anyway, because the theft didn't start when the card was taken. It started earlier. The PIN was memorized. The timing was planned. Victims almost never connect these two moments. They remember losing the card. They don't remember being watched. That separation is the entire strategy. By the time the pattern is clear, the money is already gone. This scam works because humans are bad at linking delayed events. We look for immediate causes. Criminals exploit that blind spot. The third scam feels harmless because the request is so small. A message arrives about a package. There's been a delivery issue. To confirm shipment, a small debit card payment is required. It's a minor amount, barely noticeable. The message looks professional. It includes tracking details, brand logos, official language. You enter your card information. Nothing happens, no confirmation, no error. That's because the payment was never the goal. The moment your details are entered, automated systems begin testing your card. Small withdrawals, quick checks. If the card works, the real theft starts immediately. Money moves fast, faster than alerts, faster than reaction. Victims often notice only after their account balance hits zero. This scam succeeds because small requests feel safe. Low stakes lower suspicion, and familiarity replaces caution. The second scam is one people don't like to believe exists, because it means the danger isn't always outside the system. Some debit card fraud involves insiders, temporary staff, maintenance workers, contractors with limited access. They install hardware quietly. They copy transaction data. They sell access discreetly. These attacks are difficult to detect, hard to prove, and even harder to reverse. Victims are often told the case is under review, that the investigation will take time. Weeks pass, then months, and eventually the answer is vague. No clear evidence, no recovery. What makes this scam so damaging is trust. People assume internal systems are secure by default. Criminals rely on that assumption. At this point, every scam you've heard still shares one thing in common. There was a moment, a message, a call, a memory you could point to. The final scam removes even that. The first and most dangerous debit card scam doesn't rely on mistakes. It doesn't rely on trust. It doesn't rely on urgency. And it doesn't rely on you doing anything wrong. In fact, most victims never realize they were targeted at all. This scam is known as ghost tapping. Your debit card stays in your wallet the entire time. You don't answer a call. You don't click a link. You don't enter a PIN. You don't approve a transaction. You're standing in a crowded place, public transport, an elevator. You never feel it. Using short-range wireless exploits, card data is captured silently through proximity. No contact, no sound, no alert. By the time your phone notifies you of a transaction, the damage is already done. Funds are withdrawn in rapid succession, often through contactless limits that reset before you can react. Victims open their banking app in disbelief. They replay the last few hours in their mind, searching for the mistake. There isn't one. Banks struggle to explain these cases because there's no obvious breach, no compromised login, no recorded authorization, just missing money. That's what makes ghost tapping so devastating. There's nothing to remember, nothing to avoid, nothing to learn from afterward. It bypasses awareness entirely. And because it leaves so little evidence, recovery is rare. This scam exists because convenience was prioritized over friction, speed over verification, ease over control, and once money moves instantly, protection becomes reactive instead of preventive. After the theft, the real damage begins. Victims don't panic right away. They doubt themselves. They refresh the app. They log out and log back in. They assume it's a system error. Balances don't just disappear. Until they do, then comes the call to the bank. Long hold times, carefully worded responses, questions that feel neutral but aren't. Were you careful with your card? Did you share any information? Did you authorize anyone? Because debit cards don't have the same protections as credit cards, the burden quietly shifts from system failure to personal responsibility. And when there's no explanation, there's often no reimbursement. That's when the shame sets in, not because of the loss, but because of the silence. Victims stop talking about what happened. They don't want to hear the unspoken question. How did you let this happen? Scammers rely on that silence. Because people who don't talk don't warn others. And scams that aren't talked about keep working. The truth is uncomfortable. Debit card scams don't target careless people. They target normal behavior. They target routine, familiarity, trust in systems that feel invisible until they fail. Criminals don't look for intelligence levels or education. They look for patterns, crowds, habits, predictability. And the more normal your behavior is, the easier it is to anticipate. Protection isn't about paranoia. It's about friction. Criminals hate friction. They avoid targets that slow them down, even slightly. Low contactless limits, locked cards when not in use, instant transaction alerts, physical shielding, using debit cards sparingly. None of these make you immune. They make you inconvenient. And inconvenience is often enough. If you've listened this far, something has already changed. You won't look at your debit card the same way again. That's not fear, that's awareness. And awareness is the only real defense that scales faster than fraud, because banks react after the money moves. But people who understand the threat can interrupt it before it spreads. If this made you pause even once, remember this: the most dangerous scams don't feel dangerous at all. They feel normal, and that's why they work.